All right, tonight, evidence of rampant bias among special counsel Robert Mueller's team now emerging. We have been following this. We have new information tonight. Sarah Carter reporting Andrew Weissmann met with the Associated Press and journalists. He did it last April to talk about the AP's investigation into Paul Manafort. The very next day, the Associated Press published a major story about Paul Manafort. Thank you, Andrew Weissmann, regarding alleged money laundering. Now, sources have told Sarah Carter that in that meeting, the AP reporters, they promised to share documents and information about Manafort with the Department of Justice. By the way, a lot more media collusion that we will be having in coming days. The AP, of course, denying that part of the story. Here's what should be concerning to every American tonight. During the meeting with reporters, Andrew Weissmann, the #1 guy appointed by Robert Mueller, the head of the Justice Department's fraud division, and he then later, not long after, joined Mueller's investigation to look into Paul Manafort the next month. And according to Sarah Carter's reporting, Weissmann told his superiors about the conversation with the AP, and during that time, he wasn't working on the Manafort case and did not have access to any documents related to it. Here's the thing. Weissmann was discussing Paul Manafort with those reporters and then joined Mueller's team where he's leading the case against Manafort. Now, he was prejudging the case, prejudiced. There's a massive conflict of interest. We obviously see what's going on here. And then there's Weissmann's disturbing history on top of it. Why would Robert Mueller ever appoint this guy that led the obstruction of justice case against Arthur Andersen Accounting in the Enron scandal back in the 2000s? Tens of thousands of people lost their jobs. They're out of business. Thank you, Weissmann. The Supreme Court overturned a ruling 9-0 in the case. Weissmann's job was a mess. And people also, and by the way, exculpatory evidence in one case that he withheld, and also responsible for putting 4 Merrill Lynch executives behind bars. No, you might not care about Merrill Lynch guys, but guess what? They were innocent. Their convictions also overturned, this time by the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. You'd care if it was your family. Did Robert Mueller, did he ever bother to check Weissmann's history? No, because he already knew it. They're best friends. And Mueller also didn't seem to mind that members of his investigation donated 50 grand to Obama, Clinton, and the DNC, not one penny given to Donald Trump. This is political bias. This proves the investigation has been and continues to be a total partisan sham and witch hunt and an embarrassment if you believe in the rule of law. It is so important tonight, and why I am saying Andrew Weissmann not only needs to be fired, but fully investigated. And Robert Mueller has a lot of explaining to do about his team of Democratic witch hunters, and they certainly need to be disbanded. It is why the special counsel needs to be shut down once and for all. And no, the president doesn't need to answer any of their questions because it's so fundamentally corrupt. Congressman Jim Jordan, he is seeing what's going on with Mueller's partisan probe. He is one of a handful of lawmakers that is interested in the truth. He's been asking the right questions. Take a look at the side of your screen. Congressman Jordan will scroll slowly. A list of 18 imperative, crucial questions that need to be answered. I urge you to take a close look at these, and we'll bring it up later in the show. Here's a few that stand out. Was the dossier the basis for securing the FISA warrant to spy on a presidential candidate and on an opposition party and on a president-elect? And why won't the FBI show Congress the FISA application? We know the answer. We just learned last week, sources telling me that at first the FISA warrant was denied to spy on members of the Trump campaign. Very rare for that to happen. Then the dossier was used to then put it over the top, and they got the FISA warrant. We also need to know, did the FBI validate and corroborate that dossier? I'm being told that a Clinton supporter did. How would we trust them? These questions are the same ones we've been asking. Hillary Clinton bought and paid for it. She's going to have one of her sick, corrupt cartel friends verify it? Here's a key part. None of them have to do with Hillary Clinton's email server, by the way. This is just the 18 questions on one thing. It's only about the Clinton bought and paid for Russian propaganda dossier. Let's see. We know, for example, that the Obama administration politicized, weaponized America's powerful tools of intelligence. Not the rank and file, just a few select at the top. Then they were spying on an opposition party. That would be Donald Trump. And what is being exposed is a massive abuse to the Constitution. We'll have more with Mark Levin on that tonight. Now, think through this. Fusion GPS co-founder Glenn Simpson, he's the person that created the fake news dossier. He's now being exposed. In a released congressional testimony, Simpson claimed that the FBI had a human source inside the Trump organization that helped corroborate aspects of the phony dossier. Well, it turns out Simpson wasn't accurate in his testimony. Oh, lied? Fusion GPS has since attempted to correct the record now by saying there wasn't an FBI mole inside Trump Tower. Was there or wasn't there? Instead, it was former Trump advisor, they say, George Papadopoulos. And that was blown out of the water because Papadopoulos, if you believe this highly suspect New York Times reporting, started the whole Russia investigation by getting drunk and then running his mouth to an Australian diplomat about Russia having dirt on Hillary Clinton. And the drunk gossip, you'd have to believe, eventually made it to the FBI, and they reportedly then used it to start the investigation. Oh, 4 levels of hearsay. It's, what, at a nightclub? Really? All the FBI needs to do to investigate a political party during a campaign, talk to a drunk guy at a bar. That's why we need answers tonight. And finally, you have a major update on the Uranium One scandal that no one else in the media covers. According to reports, federal authorities have now announced an indictment in the Russian bribery scheme connected to the corrupt deal that gave Putin and Russia and those bad actors control of 20% of America's uranium supply, which we have short supply of. Former shipping company executive Mark Lambert, he's now being accused of money laundering, foreign bribery, wire fraud for allegedly bribing a Russian energy official in an effort to secure the shipping contracts, which we have informed you about is so important. And this new information is only a small piece of the bigger picture of the corruption here. This indictment is only a preview of coming attractions.